Sorrel, Kim, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guest.
I'm doing great. Thanks, Neil. And yes, I am excited about our guest. Noah Costa, you have been compared to all the great crooners, Frank Sinatra above all. And you're so young, and yet you have this incredibly deep sound with perfect pitch and you've got a background in music. You started in musical theater, I think, like at 6 years old or something, and you've accomplished so many really cool things and collaborated with people. And you're only 19, is that right?
Yeah, 20 years old.
20. So you must have
Wow.
just turned 20 not long ago. Yeah.
Hmm.
So in 20 years, you've gone farther than most people have in a lifetime. So how does that feel?
I mean, it feels great. How else could it feel, right? I mean, the work to get there has been a lot, obviously. Finding the people to work with, finding right people to work with, and just putting my name out there. That's obviously the hardest part. And seeing that all kind of come to fruition now, it's just incredible.
Wow. And when you talk about specifically knowing you had talent, when did you know you have talent as a singer?
Um, oh, that's a hard question. Um, I gotta say, I kind of knew when I had talent when, I had certain people reach out to me and say, you should go to these places where you'll do like kind of interviews, they'll test you out, see how you're doing. And after all those kind of auditions that I had with them, they were like, you have, and this was when I was 12 years old, like this is 8 years ago now. They all came up to me and said, you're going places. You have something. And I think that was kind of the moment where it's like, oh, this is something I can actually do.
Wow. Yeah, that's so cool. And I got to tell you that there's a whole lot of young men who, if they went home and they said while they're in high school, I'm going to be a singer to their parents would probably say, you need to be an engineer or you need to be something else. So your parents, how supportive or how did that support happen with you?
They have been the most supporting possible. Like they have done everything in their power to help me in whatever. Like it's even me at times where it's like, oh, I'm preoccupied with watching sports. I'm preoccupied with doing my own thing. And I love that. I love doing this. And they would easily say, I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be an engineer. But no, they really wanted me to get into this. And I'm very happy for their support. Obviously, they'd be much happier if I was going into medical school or something like that, but they've always been very supportive of everything that I've done in music.
So tell us about when you went on Canada's Got Talent. Explain the show, first of all, for the people who are all, fans of America's Got Talent. What's the
Mhm.
difference between this?
Um, I mean, the biggest difference is that it's Canadian made,
Mhm.
right? There's in America's Got Talent, you're showcasing what all 50 states really got. And while they do allow international contestants, you don't really see that much Canadians at all. And with Canada's Got Talent, it really gives a platform for the true Canadian artists to come out and show what they got. And I feel like that's really important, especially in times like this where, people really trying to get out there from all parts of the world. And I think it's really been helping Canada become its own real country because I feel like a lot of people associate Canada with America. I feel like people are really starting to see Canada as its own kind of party for entertainment.
But you have
Now,
so many entertainers in Canada that were successful, right? They
Not
just
from not from Canada's Got Talent though.
nah,
Yeah,
nah.
that's the thing. Now people are going to start seeing people. Now people are going to start seeing more people coming from these because of Canada's Got Talent. It's only the Drakes and the Justin Bieber, the Weekend, only a select few. And now you're going to see much more Canadian artists come out of Canada because of shows like this.
yeah, that is cool. And I get the whole connect living in Michigan. To me, Canada and Michigan, like we were just all the same because we could just cross the border whenever we wanted and you spoke English, everybody spoke English and we ate basically the same foods. But it's definitely its own country with its own everything. And I think it's good that that Canada's Got Talent is helping it give Canada even more of an identity. It's a wonderful country.
Oh yeah.
So, what was the process like for you? Did you grow up watching it or watching America's Got Talent or Canada's Got Talent and then go, I'm going to be on this show that someday?
I grew up watching American Idol like every
Okay.
weekend, every week throughout the week. Me and my parents, we would sit down and we would watch it weekly. And there were parts of me where it's like, oh yeah, I'd love to be on the show one day, but it was never really a thought. Like I never really thought like this is where I'm gonna be. And now that I've actually been there, I'm like, I've actually done it. You know, like it's mind blowing to think about.
Totally. And how did that audition happen? Tell how you auditioned for it.
Um, like how I got the audition,
Yeah,
or
got the audition and then get on it. Can't you have to have the first phase audition before you get on the show, right?
yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that,
Oh, you're not. Okay.
but it was a fun little process. I just put in an application. They reached out to me, and then we said, you know what, why not come on the show? That's basically the best I can put it.
Okay.
That's exciting. So fun. That had to be such a fun thing. But you've also performed with greats and you've performed in huge places with wonderful symphony orchestras. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
what has been your favorite performance that you've had so far?
It's got to be with Alma Deutscher and that Glenn Gould Foundation for his 95th birthday celebration. Um, I worked with a vocal coach for around a few months at that point, and her husband, or first of all, this vocal coach's name is Elaine Overholt, and she's very well known in Canada and the U.S. as one of a top tier vocal coach. She's worked with John Travolta, Zac Efron, a lot of these guys, and her husband works a lot in connection with SOCAN and the Glenn Gould Foundation, and Alma Deutscher, music prodigy, and a lot of people know who she is in the classical scene. She was looking for a vocalist to help debut a song from one of her operas that she wrote and debuted in 2023. Um, and Glenn showed her me, and she loved it because she really wanted a more modern voice. She didn't want a real classical trained anything. She just wanted someone who was very young and someone who can bring out a more modern voice. And that's how I was chosen. And working with her was just such a pleasure. Her musical mind is just incredible. I got to talk a lot with her about that, and she just has so much ideas. It's just incredible that I got to work with someone at such a high level. And yeah, I feel like doing that was probably one of my favorite ones because it took me out of my comfort zone as well, especially in the classical scene.
So what do you think what do you think's next for you? Like what's next for you?
Well, I definitely want to start working on a new album. I released my first album last year, and it did well, but it didn't do that well on my expectations. So I really want to get more music going, more jazz, and more original stuff as well. I really want to show me. I feel like at this point, sticking with Sinatra and all that stuff, it's just people have heard it a lot already, and I want to show the world what I can do.
All right. Kim has a love question. Go ahead, Kim. Mhm.
So I lived a year, Noah, figuring out the true meaning of love. And the things that I found out were just mind blowing. And so I'm always curious. I'm curious where love is in your music and your life and how you would define love.
Wow. Okay. Um, love, hmm. Love would be something that you want to see every day, you want to do every day. In terms of my music, it's something I want to do every day. It's something that I think about a lot, and the goals that I have within it. I know for a fact that if this goes nowhere, what I want to do is in music, journalism and music. Um, music, behind the scenes music, anything I can do, teaching it, music therapy, literally anything I can do in music, I'll be happy with for the rest of my life. And that all stems from the love that I have for it. I feel like I have a lot of love for what I do, and for the love that I have for the people that helped me get here. And I really feel that love is surrounding me all the time within my music and within the people who get help me here.
Okay, that was very mature for 20 answer. Yes.
Good answer.
Yes, definitely. Where can people check you out? Best play. I know I just read that. There's no social on you, right? Or where do we
Oh,
go?
I have Instagram. You can reach me
Instagram.
at it's Noah Costa. It's like it's me. It's and my name Noah Costa with a K.
Okay, great. Do you have a website too? Or
I do at noahcosta.com.
all right. Appreciate it, Noah. Great stuff.
Appreciate you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
stopping by.
much.
You really gave Canada a kick saying, here you go. Canada's got talent. Bring some real talent in there, to the world. So appreciate it. Thanks, Noah.
Thank you so much.
All right. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show in the